Hey everybody, this is Ken Jobst with a closer look at Pastor's midweek message, which is entitled Leaving Munchkin Land. It's part of his series that he's been doing for the last couple of weeks that's entitled How to Win When You Don't Fit In. Today I want to take a look and we're going to deconstruct this idea of leaving Munchkin Land. Watch this. The Wizard of Oz is the most watched film in movie history. And that's for a pretty good reason, because The Wizard of Oz is teaching us a very, very important lesson through a tremendous story. Now, the story actually is the story of a hero's journey to self-knowledge and wisdom and insight and transformative understanding, right? So all of this takes place in the life of Dorothy from Kansas. And at the very beginning of the movie, back in the black and white part of the movie, Dorothy sings a song. It's called Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And in that song, she's looking for a land that she heard of once in a lullaby, right? And it's a land where, where troubles melt like lemon drops. Now, that land doesn't exist, right? This is something that she has heard of in a childish lullaby, that someday everything's going to work out and it's all going to be, lemon drops and wonderful. Well, actually, Dorothy finds that she's got a problem. Dorothy's dog has bitten Miss Gulch, and Miss Gulch wants to euthanize Toto. Right? So by a little bit of stealth, Toto jumps out of the basket on the bicycle, runs away. Dorothy grabs her, and Dorothy decides the way to handle this problem is to run away from home. Watch. Lesson number 1, you can't run away from your problems. But remember, this is taking place in the black and white part of the movie. And that black and white is symbolic of a child's understanding of the adult world. A child doesn't understand how grown-ups really work and how you handle problems in your life. Well, as it turns out, she starts to run away from home, but then comes upon a fortune teller that says, oh, your Auntie Em is going to be so brokenhearted. And so Dorothy decides she's going to go on home. But right at this time, there's a tornado. And so she can't get in the tornado shelter in the cellar, so she just goes into the bedroom. When she goes in the bedroom, tornado hits, and it hits her, it knocks the window frame out, knocks her in the head, she passes out. She comes to, the tornado has picked up the house from black and white Kansas and sets it down in the land of Oz, which is Technicolor, and it's amazing. Right? The transformation from black and white world to Technicolor world is what happens when you start to pursue wisdom in your life. But watch, here's the problem. Dorothy finds herself in Oz, but she's in Munchkin Land. Now, don't think of Munchkin Land as just a land of what the 20th century called midgets, right? No. It is not that. Munchkin Land is a land where there's adults, but they have not grown properly. So they are childish adults. How do we know this? Well, the most important people in that land are members of the Lullaby League, right, that come out and sing to Dorothy after Dorothy, kills the witch. They come out and sing on behalf of the Lullaby League, and they do their little dance. And then the guys come out, and they are from the Lollipop Guild. Lullabies and lollipops don't generally take up a lot of an adult's attention, right? Lullabies and lollipops are childish things, but they have been made the most important things in Munchkin Land. So the munchkins are those who should be grown, but they're not. And they've got some growing to do. Well, how's that going to take place? Well, it takes place because Dorothy has now, in even though she's in Oz and in Munchkin Land, she has a real problem that needs to be solved. She wants to get back to Kansas. How am I going to get back to Kansas? She has a goal. Now, the Munchkins didn't have goals. They're all about lollipops and lullabies. But Dorothy has a goal that she needs to reach to be able to accomplish what she's setting out to accomplish. Dorothy is headed somewhere. If you're not headed anywhere, it doesn't matter if you stay in Munchkin Land. So, watch. What does she do? She is told, the Munchkins tell her, the good witch tells her, you got to follow the yellow brick road. Where is the yellow brick road? The yellow brick road is right there at her feet. Wait, you know what? It's at the Munchkins' feet too. What's the problem? The Munchkins never follow it. The Munchkins are content to stay in Munchkin Land, to stay immature in a world full of mature problems, problems that require insight and wisdom. They're still stuck on lollipops and lullabies. So what does Dorothy do? She begins to follow the yellow brick road. She sets out on a journey of discovering wisdom, discovering what is in her, discovering that along the way to her goal, she's going to need to have brains, right? She's going to have to be intelligent. She's going to have a heart, and she's going to have courage to achieve the goal. So that all begins at the yellow brick road, which is right at your feet. And at the beginning, watch that yellow brick road. It's a spiral, right? It goes round and round. You may not feel like you're getting anywhere, but you've begun the journey. And that's a tremendously important thing. You know what? One day you might read some works of Carl Jung and read a little bit more about the collective unconscious and some of these things. It's tremendously powerful. But now Dorothy is on her way, and she's going to realize that, even though she's somewhere over the rainbow, that still it's going to take courage and insight and heart to achieve her goal. Now, a couple of things I want to let you know that this, from a biblical perspective, this is all about spiritual growth. And spiritual growth is going to require three things of each of us. It's going to require, first of all, that we have the desire for spiritual growth. We need to actually desire it. If it's not in your heart, if you don't desire it, you'll never accomplish it. We need to have a design to achieve spiritual growth. You know what? Some people learn by the eye. They learn by reading. Some people learn by the ear. They learn by hearing things. Or they learn by the mouth. You know what? If I learn something and I tell somebody, then it seals it in my heart. Some people learn by handling it with their hands. Actually, roll up your sleeves and get in and do it. You got to desire spiritual growth, then you've got to design spiritual growth, and then ultimately, we've got to demonstrate that spiritual growth. Dorothy makes it to Oz. She makes it to her goal, and so will you. Hey, once again, with a closer look, this is Ken Jobst. Have a great, great day. Bye-bye.